Tell the Christians the Bible is all metaphors. Hear what they have to say about that. They'll probably tell you you're a fake Christian. You can actually type this out to an atheist after watching this video, somebody who has no responsibility to read the Bible or care what it says. If God created us perfectly, meaning invulnerable and without needs, no police or lawyers would ever be necessary. Why do you want to understand the Bible, or what God really is, especially as you believe it's purely metaphorical, while you can see in Godless Engineer's video that both that lady and the speaker are strawmanning evolution and accusing atheists of stealing from God? You can clearly see what we're dealing with. Both positions are strong for representing a metaphorical book, don't you think? What is God if he's not a monster? How can God exist if the Bible is only metaphors? If I was to position myself with your interpretation of the Bible, I'd still be dealing with every other Christian. Every one of the tens of thousands of denominations are based on a different interpretation. I would also be told that I'm taking the Bible out of context. I do have ways around that shit, but why bother if I don't have to? Where does worship come from, if the Bible is metaphorical, and why do you want to worship? Worse yet, why do you want me to worship? Why do you agree with God if worship is a spiritual must? Yes, I do know who creates life. Parents. If choices were possible, I would have chosen not to be created, so I wouldn't have to make any other choices. As for hellish choices, maybe if people in the world asked psychological questions or gave sensible advisory, less hellish decisions would be made. I think you mean mental health when you say spirit. You're trying to mystify mental health. I'm dishonest if I tried to deceive people, which would be a choice made through mental illness, something which no police are out to stop. Police need crime to happen to receive their wages. I'm understanding and empathetic when I'm educated and experienced with something. I try to learn when I'm not. What about you? Okay, you've just mentioned spirits and supernatural after asking me if I'm either understanding and empathetic or judgmental and forgiving. How do you know spirits exist, and what supernatural entity are you referring to? What are you even talking about here? How will spirits determine mine, yours, or anybody else's fate? Do you want them to? I've already explained that mental health and education are the factors that determine how we all treat others. If you disagree with that, why do you? The only part of this that makes sense is the second one there. The problem is, most people in the world are insane, are brainwashed, or don't know any better. Maybe God should have done a little better with the human design. Then the Bible wouldn't be necessary, and neither would Jesus. I don't believe anybody for anything without evidence. I don't accept or agree with anybody or anything that promotes harm. I don't accept or agree with anybody or anything that promotes harm or conformity. Most Christians interpret God as a being who only saves those who believe in him, which they agree with, which would be, quote, evil. The Bible says God expects everybody to accept Jesus, despite not even being alive in Adam and Eve's time, which means we can't be guilty. So, you want me to understand narcissism in terms of loving truth? What do these selfish commandments have to do with respecting goodness and doing the right thing? What do they have to do with life? When you hear or read people mocking the Bible, they're mocking it in the context of what the Bible says about God, along with what Christians preach at them and argue with them about. To judge them as ignorant and stupid is ignorant on your part for not realizing this. Maybe you should be lecturing the Christians, not me or anybody else. Good luck with that, though. You can say this is bullshit as much as you want. Billions of people believe the Bible is literal, and many of them act on it, which is why the Bible doesn't even matter. Murder is rare, but they do cause lots of social and economic problems. And you say those who mock the Bible are ignorant? How can God be saying anything to you if you believe the Bible is only a book of metaphors? Regardless, I will proceed with the rest of this. What do personal feelings have to do with the truth, and why do you insist on loving it? Why do you love the truth? What will Jesus do as most people don't treat others as they would like to be treated? Why do you grant the Bible authority over every other book? Is it really a matter of this metaphorical God not violating human rights, or is it more of a matter of this metaphorical God forcing us to choose? How can this metaphorical God do anything to us if we don't choose him, if he's only a character? As for the rights, God is a homicidal and genocidal psycho, while the Christians keep trying to violate human rights. Oh wait, the Bible is only a metaphor book. I keep forgetting. Probably because you talk about God like he's real, and his word like it's literal, and the truth. Is this a matter of who listens to you, or a matter of you not listening?